There's a reasonably good chance you have no idea where this is. It could be Utah, Arizona, or perhaps the Gobi Desert, but it's not. This road leads to one of the more exciting journeys you could ever take, through an ancient land with some of the greatest archaeological treasures and surreal landscapes known to man. There's also a reasonably good chance you don't know who this is, but he's uniquely qualified to be your very special guide on the adventures you'll find within a place relatively few Americans have discovered. He was born and raised here, served in the military, and has flown, dived, climbed, trekked, and camped throughout the entire country. And so, while he may know this land better than just about anyone, he's not just any tour guide. He is King Abdullah II, and you are invited on the royal tour.
Flying helicopters allows me to forget all the problems. I forget all the problems of state and of the problems that we're facing, and just relax and cleanse my mind, and it's very therapeutic.
Peter, on this leg of the journey, we'll head south from Petra. I want to show you my family's favorite getaway spot in all of Jordan. It has an altogether different look from all the other places you've already seen.
Hey, I'm up for anything as long as I don't have to ride another camel.
Not unless your camel can swim, because I'm taking you to Aqaba, on the Red Sea.
It used to be an old Turkish and later a British Army outpost. It's only been in recent years that Aqaba has started to be developed as a true resort destination. And to make it more attractive, we turned the entire area into a duty-free zone.
Your Majesty, what's always amazed me about this place is how short the distances are between the countries.
That's right. From right here, it's a short walk to Israel, which is right over there. And we can see Egypt and Saudi Arabia. Jordan is right behind us. Aqaba has miles of accessible beaches and beautiful reefs. The Red Sea is widely regarded as having some of the best scuba diving on Earth. What do you say? Should we have a closer look?
Wow, what a great day.
Hi, Peter, how you doing?
I'm okay. So where are we going today?
Well, we're going to head down south towards the Saudi border. There's some beautiful dive sites there, and the one that we're going to go to today is the wreck.
Tell me about the wreck.
Well, the wreck is a Lebanese registered ship called the Cider Pride that caught fire in the bay about 12 years ago.
We got to this particular vessel, and the crew were already in their suits with their suitcases, and we realized it was an insurance ploy. They were trying to sink the ship for insurance reasons. We actually managed to put the fire out and save the ship, but it was so badly damaged from the inside it couldn't be used again for commercial uses. So we got the permission to clean the ship out and make it safe for diving. We sank the ship to build a new coral reef that would bring more sea life and improve the environment of it.
It takes a few minutes to get down to the wreck. The ship's lying on its side in about 90 feet of water.
I always go to check to see how much, coral has grown and the abundance of sea life that's now developed around this particular wreck.
This wreck is a lifelong adventure for me. Every time I return, there's always something new to see. I really hope that this is something my children can appreciate long after I'm gone. Diving in the Red Sea, you're never quite sure what you'll find. We're even trying to create a reef out of old army tanks, which some might think might be a much better use for them.
There's a lot more fish there than there's been a year ago. A lot more color down there too.
Soon we headed back to Aqaba, and His Majesty let me pilot his yacht. How cool was that?
Peter, this morning we're heading towards the lost city that I mentioned to you last night. It's Petra, and it's nestled in the heart of the mountains, and it's one of the most stunning sights in the world. And we're following in the 2,000-year-old footsteps of the camel caravans that brought spices from India on their way to the Mediterranean. Peter, just put yourself in their place. It wasn't an easy trip. They would creep along step by step for 2 months or more across this parched expanse, searching for water or trying to protect their cargo from bandits. Imagine how they must have felt when they arrived at the giant rock gates of this hidden city and entered the cool shadows of the Sikh, this 250-foot high canyon that snakes its way past carved treasures and into the very heart of Petra.
If we come over here, you can basically see the outline of a man leading a camel and a camel caravan. It must have been amazing to suddenly come into Petra and walk down the Sikh and then suddenly see a flourishing city.
So in a way, this is really their welcome sign.
Absolutely.
Wow. Amazing.
And you see the reliefs continuing on down.
It never stops. Never stops.
You'll be happy to know we're leaving the camels behind and walking from here on.
Well, if you thought getting on the camel was tough, getting down off of it, downright embarrassing. And you would come all the way through the gorge here, and every time you turn, you'd think it was happening, and then all of a sudden, you come right here, and there it is.
This is what you got.
Amazing.
It always takes your breath away. I mean, look at this amazing sight. And it just fills you with awe of how the civilization over thousands of years ago managed to be able to do something such as...
Well, the engineering to be able to carve this into solid rock.
Amazing. This is a temple for an old Nabatean king, an old tomb.
But they call it the Treasury Building.
They do call it the Treasury because over 100 and 150 years ago there were rumors that a lot of jewelry and gold was left in the big urns that were up on the top there. So people used to shoot at it, and that's...
I see the bullet holes up there.
You see the bullet holes.
But no treasury came down.
No.
And no treasure either.
No treasure.
Of its greatness before the time of Christ, approximately 30,000 people lived in Petra. People known as the Nabateans, living in the middle of the desert. They were incredible architects, as you'll soon see. They had little water, so the Nabateans cut these aqueducts into the stone and funneled the rainwater into fountains and baths and indoor reservoirs. Petra became a classical oasis, a regular stop on the trade routes, and the Nabateans grew very, very wealthy. And as their wealth grew, so did their vision for Petra. So they built these giant tombs for their kings as lasting tributes to the greatness of their civilization.
It was a very sophisticated culture, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. They even had live theater. Entertainers would perform for thousands of people in this ancient amphitheater. Petra was so splendid, in fact, that the Romans took it for themselves, and later the Byzantines. But somewhere around 800 AD, the trade route shifted, and it wasn't long before Petra was all but forgotten. It became nothing more than an ornate home for Bedouin shepherds, and over time was mostly covered up by blowing sand. As a result, Petra was lost from maps for 1,000 years. In 1812, a Swiss explorer disguised as an Arab rediscovered Petra, and the outside world has become enamored with this place ever since. Today, Petra has been recognized by the United Nations as a World Heritage Site, and in the last decade, millions of foreign visitors have seen its splendors with their own eyes. It's nice that it's safe enough here in Jordan that we can do these things without being totally surrounded by security. I just want my family to have as normal a life as possible.
Even the semblance of normalcy in this part of the world may often seem like an impossible dream. But King Abdullah, like his father before him, works hard to keep that dream alive.